Hello again folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Today we've got a fun video for you that a lot of people have been asking for since we did the original reviews on these two rifles. So today, in typical battle fashion, we're going to pit these two rifles head to head and see which one comes up tops. So without further ado, let's introduce our contenders. Representing Team Canada, we have the Spectre WS MCR, chambered in 5.56 NATO. It's based on the Armalite rifle AR 180B, and it is in a normal rifle configuration. Representing Team China, we have the Type 97 Gen 3, based on the QBZ rifle series. It is chambered in 5.56 NATO and is in a bullpup configuration. You know we're gonna win, right? Dream on, man. So guys, now that you've met our contenders, who do you think is gonna be coming out on top? So the way we're gonna do this is gonna be unscientific. The points are gonna be awarded very subjectively and probably frivolously. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna take it inside to the table. We're gonna compare them feature to feature, score points that way. And once we've completed that portion, we'll take her out to the range for a little bit of a shootout, and then we'll come back for a bonus round. Stay tuned. All right, folks, now that we've got the rifles on the table, we're going to start looking at the features that they have and kind of comparing them side by side. Now, a couple of things. I'm wearing my blue gloves again as usual. That is just to avoid fingerprints under these lights. As you know, they highlight them quite a bit. And I've got two rifles where I normally have one working around a camera. So if I screw up a bit, I do apologize for that in advance. All right, guys, let's get straight to it and start dishing out some points. We're going to start with the muzzle ends and work our way backwards. So the first points definitely go to the T97. And that's for cost. Because as it stands, the MCRs are currently shipping with the folding stocks, and they are about $300 more expensive than the T97. So 1 point for the T97 there. All right, guys, they both have a birdcage style flash hider. They do look different though. The T97 one is pinned and the MCR is not, so you are able to remove that and put your own muzzle device on there as well. So that point goes to the MCR. Okay, so barrels, both of them are thicker than normal barrels. Your MCR has a pretty thick, heavy profile barrel, and the T97 has what I would refer to more as like a government profile. It's not a pencil barrel, so neither of these are very susceptible to heating up and opening up their groups very quickly, at least. The T97 has an adjustable gas block, which is pretty neat, so they get a point for that. And both of these rifles have M-lock, as you can see. However, the T97 doesn't have any M-lock at the 12 o'clock position, so you can't mount any vertical grips like you can on the MCR. So a point goes to the MCR for that one. They both have pick rails that run all the way across the receivers, so you can mount any kind of optics that you'd like. Let's move on to the receivers. So the lowers on the T97 is polymer, and the lower on the MCR is an aluminum lower. Neither, I would say, require a point there because they both function very well. You can change this whole lower out for the T97.CA one, which also includes a trigger job, and then what would allow you to change your grip out as well. However, that's not a factory thing. The WS MCR, on the other hand, you can change your grips out to the A1 styles, you know, whichever one you like, so they get a point for that one. So we'll get to the triggers in just a minute. So both of these are right-hand side ejection only, right? However, the T97 does have an ambi magazine release, where the MCR only has a mag release on the one side. Now, for my personal use, I don't care, but for lefties, we'll give the T97 a point there. Moving on to the butt stocks, of course, the T97 being a bullpup, it's non-adjustable, and you can't do anything about the length of pull. It is very comfortable though, so that's not a problem. However, with the MCR, you are able to put an adjustable stock on there. Many of them actually ship with the adjustable stock. You have the option of a folding stock, as well as for example, a fixed stock like the one I've got on here. So the point goes to the MCR there. All right, guys, let's flip them over. So on the other side of our rifles, you'll notice that mag release that I mentioned over here is like this little bar, where the MCR does not have one. You'll notice the T97 has this weird safety in the buttstock, and it's like a massive 180-degree throw as well, which is awkward and weird. All right. The MCR, on the other hand, has its safety where it's supposed to be, so it gets a point for that, as well as the safety is ambi, so it gets another point for that. The T97 does have sling attachments in the back. It's those hook types like the HK hooks, and it's got one in the front here as well. The front one isn't always very comfortable to use. That being said, they do deserve a point for adding those from the factory. Unfortunately, the MCR does not. But you can add anything you like on the M-locks. You know, like I did put a little QD mount on there from BCM. Both rifles have a charging handle on the left-hand side. The T97s comes out on the right, but you can interchange them between left and right. So they do get a point for that, and they get an additional point for it being non-reciprocating, where the MCRs reciprocate, so it runs back and forth as the bolt cycles, right? So let's take a look at the triggers. We know what the numbers say about the MCR one, which we will roll in for you, and that we did from previous testing in our trigger video, and we're looking at the factory triggers, right? We're going to grab our little wheeler here, and we are going to be checking what the average trigger pull is for the T97. That gives us an average of 3 pounds 13 ounces, it says. So the weird thing about the T97 trigger is it's long and it's a sloppy bullpup trigger. However, it is so smooth and light, because it's weird. I shouldn't like it, but I do. It's a soft, slow pull, and then it breaks. It doesn't have a very distinctive wall or anything like that. And I oddly like it. So I am going to give it a point for having a lighter trigger from the box than the MCR has. However, the MCR does give you an option of using AR triggers, so they deserve an extra point for that. Also, the trigger that you do get from the box is actually a better trigger. It's if that makes sense, it's a better trigger pull. So they get another point for that one as well. Magazine compatibility is pretty much the same with both. I haven't had any issues myself with any of the magazines I own. I've heard of some people struggling with Gen 2 PMags in both the MCR and the T97. I haven't experienced anything like that either. All right, another thing, the T97, it's not attached right now, but they do come out with a set of iron sights from the factory, which deserves a point also. A couple of things I like about both of these rifles. The T97, for example, it has this clunky feel and makes you think they borrowed quite a bit from Kalashnikov on the internals. And the MCR, for some weird reason, and I know it shouldn't be like that, it feels like a Galil when you shoot it. And that's kind of interesting because they actually bring out a Galil folding stock as well. So yeah, I quite like both of them for various different reasons. Now, the T97 does not have a bolt hole hold open at all. Neither does the MCR from the box. However, you can get an aftermarket one for the MCR, which is actually the Kodiak Defense one. So they score a bonus point for that one too. Another spot where the MCR deserves 2 bonus points is because you are able to use a lot of your old Armalite rifle parts, right? So you're talking about grips that you may have laying around. You can change the fore ends out. You can change your barrels out. All that kind of stuff. So we'll give them 2 bonus points for that one. So guys, I think that's pretty much all that we can score them on the table. So next round is going to be our little shootout. And we're going to roll in a picture here of the scoring system that we're going to use. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use these small little pistol targets. And you'll notice all the different scoring sections there. Also, if a round cuts the line of any of the different scoring areas, we'll award the higher score of the two to them. Just be aware, on a few occasions we did have rounds kind of nicking the edge of the red sticker. You can't really see it properly on the little target cam zoom, but we checked the targets afterwards, and the scoring that we did give them is absolutely correct. Another little thing, guys, is we had so much wind noise on the target cams that we heavily edited the time between shots and so forth, just to try and cut down on that wind noise. Wasn't 100% successful. You'll still get some wind, so we do apologize for that. So let's see how it went. All right, folks, welcome back, and with the battle heating up, we're entering into the bonus round. In this bonus round, we're going to award points for kind of things outside of features, specs, and so forth. So first up, the MCR. Because the MCR is Canadian made and supports job creation in Canada, we award the MCR 1,000 points. In regards to the Type 97 for the bonus round, it might not be a Canadian-made rifle. However, Norinco products have been enjoyed by Canadians for a very, very long time. Something that, unfortunately, our friends down south cannot do. So what has this done for the Canadian shooters market? So what Norinco has done, regardless of what your feelings are around Chinese products, is that it's allowed a lot of Canadian shooters who would otherwise not be able to afford high-end bullpups or things like that to get into the bullpup game, and also to get into the shooting sports. So by doing that, growing our shooting sports community. So for that, we give them also 1,000 points. So guys, there you have it. Lots and lots of points that don't really mean anything. Pretty much what it boils down to. We love both these rifles. They're fantastic. We love the idea that the MCR is a Canadian product. It shoots really well. It's a really good quality rifle for the price you pay. If you are looking for a rifle in a normal kind of rifle configuration, something with the manual of arms similar to the Armalite rifles that our police and military are used to using and need a training tool, excellent choice. It's a great choice for coyotes, and it's a great choice for three-gun competition. In regards to the Type 97, guys, it's affordable if you don't have Tavor money. that's a really good option. It shoots straight, it's fun to shoot, it's a small little package, and if you're into bullpups, that could be a really good option for you. It's also something that would be very efficient at getting rid of coyotes, and you can also use it in 3-gun competition. So guys, who won the competition? You be the judge. All right, folks, I hope you had fun with us today or learned something new. If so, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button on the next page, and leave us a comment down below. It's incredibly important so we survive in this vast wasteland of content on YouTube. And thank you guys for your support. You all stay safe, and we'll see you next time.